Okay, so deep in the heart of Turkey, there's this incredible mystery carved right out of the rock. And listen, this isn't just some cave system. We're talking about an entire city, a sprawling, multi-level metropolis hidden deep, deep underground. Today, we're going to dive into the architectural genius of Derinkuyu. It's a place that just completely shatters what we thought was possible for ancient engineers.
All right, so let's just start with the biggest question, right? The central puzzle of Derinkuyu. Just imagine for a second, you've got a community of 20,000 people. I mean, that's families, their animals, all their food, their entire way of life, and they're under constant threat. How in the world do you make them all just poof, vanish from the face of the earth?
Well, the answer is so simple, it's brilliant. You just go in the one direction nobody would ever think to look. You don't build out, you build down. Forget building a fortress on a hill, you carve one into the very ground you're standing on. And that single idea, that's the key to all of Derinkuyu's genius.
Okay, but you can't just dig a city anywhere, right? You need the perfect canvas, and that's exactly what the geology of this region, Cappadocia, gave them. You see, ancient volcanic eruptions covered this whole landscape with a really specific kind of rock, basically setting the stage for one of the most incredible engineering feats in history.
So the real hero of this story, if you think about it, is the rock itself. It's called ignimbrite, or you might know it as tuff. Now this is not your hard-as-nails granite or marble. Nope. It's basically compressed volcanic ash. And it has these, well, almost magical properties. Properties that somehow the ancient builders understood perfectly.
And this is where it gets really clever. Check this out. The properties of this tuff work in this perfect, beautiful harmony. First off, it's soft enough that you can carve it with pretty simple tools. But then, and this is the amazing part, as soon as you expose it to the air, it starts to harden. It actually gains structural strength. And most importantly, it's strong enough to support the massive weight of multiple stories, letting them dig deeper and deeper without the whole thing caving in. Just incredible.
So why go to all this trouble? Well, the main reason for building underground was pure survival, safety. Life in ancient Anatolia was, let's just say it was dangerous. You had constant threats of invasion. So the architects of Derinkuyu knew they couldn't just build a simple shelter. No, they had to engineer an almost impenetrable fortress.
And their first line of defense? Oh, it was simple, but brutally effective. Just picture it. You're an invader. You finally found an entrance. You rush in, and suddenly you see this massive stone wheel, like a giant millstone, rolling into place and sealing the tunnel right in front of you. Once they locked it from the inside with a big wooden beam, yeah, it was a near-perfect barrier. You're not getting through. And here's the really brilliant part. These weren't just doors. Think of them as one-way security systems. You could only operate them from the inside. The whole design just screams defense. It was all about trapping attackers outside, or maybe even trapping them between levels. The people inside had total, absolute control.
But okay, let's say you somehow get past one of those stone doors. What happens then? Well, the city itself becomes the weapon. The passageways are deliberately narrow and have these super low ceilings. You literally have to crouch down, you can barely squeeze your shoulders through in some spots. What does that do? It forces any attacking army into a single file line, completely disoriented in the dark, and just a sitting duck. It's a total masterclass in tactical architecture.
Okay, so they're safe from invaders. That's problem one solved. But hiding 20,000 people is one thing, keeping them alive is a whole other ballgame. So the next massive architectural challenge was life support. How do you get fresh air and clean water to thousands of people living deep, deep underground?
Just think about this number for a second. 52. That's the number of major ventilation shafts they've found so far. We're not talking about a couple of holes in the ground here. This was a complex, sophisticated network.
And these shafts were just a masterclass in multi-purpose engineering. First, they were the city's lungs, right? Pulling in fresh air from the surface and letting smoke from fires escape. But they also worked as a kind of intercom system, letting people communicate between floors. And maybe most critically of all, they were also wells. They gave everyone access to fresh water.
And man, did they have to go deep. The city goes down about 85 meters. 85 meters! That is just a staggering depth when you remember this was all dug out by hand, with simple tools. Mind-blowing.
To really wrap your head around that, try this. Picture a 28-story skyscraper. Now, just flip it upside down and bury it. That's Derinkuyu.
And by digging that far down, those main shafts were deep enough to hit the water table. So they doubled as wells, giving the entire city its own private protected water source. Absolutely essential if you're trying to survive a long siege.
So okay, they've got defense covered. They've got life support. Check and check. But Derinkuyu was so much more than just a survival bunker. It was a real, functioning community. And the architecture had to be smart enough to support not just a bunch of people hiding, but an entire society. And when you look at the layout, the complexity is just incredible. I mean, they had stables for livestock, communal kitchens, special rooms for pressing wine and oil, huge storage rooms. They even carved out chapels and religious spaces. It was a totally self-sufficient world. And get this, archaeologists think a tunnel on the 3rd floor, which is about 9 kilometers long, actually connects Derinkuyu to another nearby underground city. So this wasn't just one hideout, it was part of a whole underground network. Now let's be real. Life down here would have been tough. The rooms are small, the ceilings are low, it's cramped and dark. But the architecture tells another story. You see all these shared spaces, the communal kitchens, the wine presses, the gathering spots. It shows that this place was designed to foster a real community. They weren't just surviving next to each other, they were truly living together, supporting each other in this incredible world they carved from stone. But now we get to what might be the most mind-blowing part of Derinkuyu's architecture. It's the part you can't even see with your own eyes. It's about the builders' deep, almost intuitive understanding of the rock they were working with.
I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. How did they manage to carve out at least 8 floors, some say even more, without the whole thing just collapsing in on itself? Was that just pure luck? Or did they know something about geology that we've only recently figured out with our modern science?
Well, the secret seems to lie in something called rock joints. Basically, these are just natural cracks or fractures in the rock, little lines of weakness caused by geological stress. Now, to a modern engineer, those are huge red flags. They're potential points of failure. But for the builders of Derinkuyu, they weren't a problem, they were a blueprint.
And here's the aha moment. Modern geological analysis has revealed something absolutely amazing. The builders almost never carved their important load-bearing walls at a right angle, perpendicular to these weak joints. They obviously knew that would create a massive instability and lead to a collapse. Instead, they intentionally aligned their rooms and tunnels with the natural structure of the rock, using its own blueprint to make sure everything was stable. They turned a weakness into their greatest strength.
So this wasn't just digging. This was a form of geological engineering. This elevates these ancient people from just being simple carvers to incredibly sophisticated engineers. They were literally reading the rock, using the Earth's natural blueprint to guide their construction. It's a kind of invisible genius, written right into the stone, that has allowed this place to survive for thousands of years.
So when you step back and look at the whole thing, Derinkuyu is so much more than just some ancient ruin. It's really a testament to smart, sustainable, and resilient design. And believe it or not, it holds some really powerful lessons for us today as we face our own modern challenges.
And this is where that ancient wisdom becomes super relevant for the 21st century. Modern research has shown that underground buildings, well, they can help save about 80% of the energy we use in traditional buildings. Why? Because they use the Earth's natural insulation. The temperature down in Derinkuyu is pretty much stable all year round. It's cool in the summer and it's warmer than the outside in the winter. So this ancient idea could actually be a cutting-edge solution for our energy problems today.
It really just leaves you with one final thought, doesn't it? Derinkuyu is proof that sometimes the most advanced, most revolutionary ideas aren't new at all. They're ancient. And it just makes you wonder, what other secrets are out there? What other forgotten blueprints for a smarter, more resilient way to live are still waiting for us, carved in stone, right beneath our feet